the lie about the prostate and the inevitable decline of masculine vigor is perhaps the most damaging myth circulating among men today. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, a specialist in men's health with over 2 decades of clinical experience, and I am here to tell you that what we often dismiss as just getting older is frequently a reversible issue of circulation. Many of my patients walk into my office believing that after 60, the spark is simply gone, but the truth is that your body is a highly responsive machine that can be tuned at any age. We often look for answers in a pill bottle, but Big Pharma rarely discusses the fact that weak erections and declining stamina are more often about what you put on your fork within 10 minutes of waking up than they are about your birth year. Every morning, 99% of men over 60 are making a silent mistake at the breakfast table that effectively strangles blood flow where they need it most. This morning meal either acts as a fuel for healthy circulation or a slow poison for your pelvic health, and today we are going to expose the trap that is holding you back. Before we dive into the specific solutions, I want to invite you to join our community by hitting that subscribe button and tapping the notification bell. Every week, we break down science-backed strategies to help you reclaim your vitality and live your strongest later years. If this message resonates with you, please drop a 1 in the comments, and if you are still skeptical, drop a 0 because I read every single one to ensure we are addressing your real concerns. The core conflict we face as we age is the precipitous drop in nitric oxide production. By the time you reach 60, your body's ability to produce this essential signaling molecule has plummeted, which means the smooth muscle tissue in your groin area is no longer receiving the oxygen-rich blood flow it once did. This leads to a lack of energy, weaker firmness, and a general sense of physical frustration that many men are too embarrassed to admit. However, the human body is remarkably resilient. Your morning routine is the prime window where your blood vessels are most receptive to nutritional intervention. Instead of a quick pastry or just a cup of black coffee which spikes cortisol and constricts your vessels, you can choose foods that act as natural vasodilators. In my practice, I have seen men in their 70s and even 80s regain ground they thought was lost forever by simply switching their breakfast script. We are talking about stronger blood flow, resilient pelvic muscle tissue, and a renewed sense of confidence that does not rely on a prescription. The tools for this transformation are common, affordable, and likely sitting in your kitchen right now, overlooked and underused. By the end of this journey, you will understand how to turn your breakfast into a secret weapon for vascular rehabilitation. It is important to understand that your vascular system is an interconnected highway. If you have tight, cramping leg muscles or sluggish circulation in your hands and feet, it is a clear sign that the blood flow to your pelvic region is also suffering. When we fix the circulation at the breakfast table, we are not just addressing one specific area. We are repairing the entire endothelial lining of your blood vessels. This process starts with identifying the silent traps like sugary cereals and white toast that do nothing to support nitric oxide. Instead, we focus on a specific quartet of foods that target vascular elasticity and muscular response. As we move forward, I want you to reflect on your current morning habits. Are you fueling a life of vitality, or are you accidentally subscribing to the myth of inevitable decline? The path to reclaiming your strength is built on small, daily wins and the consistency of your choices. You are still writing your story, and this next act begins tomorrow morning at your breakfast table. We are about to embark on an essential journey of discovery that could quite literally change your life, beginning with a tiny, powerful food that most men completely ignore in the morning. The first step in our vascular reconstruction begins with a food that is often relegated to side dishes or dinner plates. Yet its power in the morning is unmatched for men over 60. I'm talking about the humble black bean. It might seem unconventional to eat beans for breakfast, but just 2 tablespoons can support healthier blood flow exactly where you need it most. This tiny serving delivers a powerful blend of L-arginine, magnesium, and anthocyanins, which are the exact nutrients your body depends on to open up blood vessels and improve circulation through the pelvic region. In my clinical experience, the resistance men have toward this food usually stems from the fear of digestive discomfort, but when prepared correctly, black beans become a gentle and powerful ally for your health. The science behind this is fascinating. Black beans are packed with L-arginine, a critical amino acid that triggers a powerful chain reaction within your vascular system. Once inside your body, L-arginine stimulates an enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase, or eNOS. This enzyme acts as a signal for your blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing oxygen-rich blood to reach the groin and every area where circulation often suffers in later years. This is not just a minor shift. Vascular researchers have found that just a couple of tablespoons of black beans can boost nitric oxide levels to heights comparable with low-dose prescription vasodilators. You are essentially giving your body the natural tools to do what expensive medications attempt to do, but without the synthetic side effects. Furthermore, the dark pigment of black beans comes from anthocyanins. These are natural compounds that cool systemic inflammation by regulating nitric oxide production. We often do not realize that chronic inflammation acts like a clog in the system, preventing blood from reaching delicate tissues. Anthocyanins help restore the balance so that the nitric oxide your body produces actually reaches the pelvic tissues that need it for firmness and responsiveness. Beyond the immediate vascular benefits, the soluble fiber in these beans helps strip away excess LDL cholesterol, the kind that thickens your arteries and creates resistance against healthy flow. Cleaner arteries mean stronger flow during physical activity and during those intimate moments when you need reliable confidence. I often share the story of a 68-year-old retired teacher who was one of my patients. He was struggling with what he called dead leg fatigue and a total loss of morning responsiveness. We started him on a simple regimen of adding a spoonful of black beans to his morning routine 3 times a week. Within just a month, he reported that his walks on the golf course felt effortless again, and more importantly, his mornings started feeling normal for the first time in years. He did not need a pill. He needed to defend his circulation with real food grown in the soil. For those concerned about preparation, the key is to soak them overnight or use a pressure cooker to make them easy on the stomach. I recommend starting small with about a quarter cup to let your body adjust to the fiber. Always rinse them well before cooking to wash away the compounds that lead to gas. If you have specific conditions like gout, you should keep your portions modest because beans contain purines. Similarly, if you are on blood thinners, simply be mindful of your overall routine care. This is the kind of power that does not come from a bottle. It is a fundamental shift in how you support your masculinity from the inside out. By incorporating this simple legume, you are setting a foundation of magnesium and amino acids that relax the very vessels that have been under tension for years. As we transition into the next layer of our breakfast, we will see how combining these beans with specific grains creates a synergistic effect that further repairs the lining of your blood vessels. The second pillar of our morning vascular reconstruction focuses on the foundation of your meal, which I call the art of vascular sweeping. Many men in their 60s have spent decades consuming refined carbohydrates that have left a sticky residue of cholesterol in their arteries. But we can begin to reverse this damage tomorrow with a warm bowl of steel-cut oats. This is not just a comfort food. It is targeted nutrition for your arteries and forms the second part of our circulation quartet. The secret lies in a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which acts like a biological broom. Clinical trials have demonstrated that consuming a bowl of oats daily can lower LDL cholesterol by up to 10% in just 4 weeks. When you lower that cholesterol, you are effectively widening the highways of your circulatory system, ensuring a stronger and steadier blood flow to the parts of your body that rely on healthy pressure to function properly. What makes steel-cut oats superior to the instant varieties most men grab for convenience is the way they interact with your blood sugar. Unlike sugary cereals or white toast that send your insulin on a roller coaster, steel-cut oats provide a base of complex carbohydrates for steady energy without the spike and crash. When your blood sugar is stable, your body is less likely to experience the inflammation that damages the delicate lining of your arteries. More importantly, oats contain a rare and powerful group of antioxidant compounds called avenanthramides. These compounds are unique to oats and serve a dual purpose in masculine health. They activate the same eNOS enzyme we discussed with black beans, which triggers the release of nitric oxide to relax your blood vessels. Simultaneously, they suppress a cellular pathway known as NF-kappa B, which is a primary driver of vascular inflammation. By quieting this pathway, your blood vessels stay flexible and responsive rather than becoming stiff and brittle with age. In vascular science, We measure the health of your arteries through something called flow-mediated dilation or FMD. Studies have shown that men who incorporate oats into their diet see a measurable increase in this marker. While a 1% increase might sound modest to a layperson, in the world of cardiovascular medicine, it represents a significant improvement in how your arteries behave under pressure. This means that when you are physically active or in a moment of intimacy, your vessels have the structural integrity to expand and hold blood flow more efficiently. I often tell my patients that eating these oats is like providing a software update for their vascular system, moving away from the glitchy, constricted state of their 50s and toward a more optimized version of their 60s. It is also vital to consider the timing of this meal. When you skip breakfast or rely solely on black coffee, your body reacts by spiking cortisol, which causes your muscles to tighten and your blood vessels to constrict. This is the exact opposite of what a man over 60 needs for his stamina. By choosing a 5-minute bowl of steel-cut oatmeal instead, you are giving yourself a base of muscle support and vascular repair that lasts until lunch. If you have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, you should ensure your oats are certified gluten-free, as a protein called avenin can sometimes trigger reactions in sensitive individuals. This simple switch from nothing or from sugar-laden options to a hearty bowl of grains can transform how your body feels before you even leave the house. As we move forward, we will explore how to enhance this oatmeal bowl with 2 specific additions that act as the building blocks for hydraulic strength. The true magic of the vascular quartet happens when you begin layering specific nutrients onto your morning base to create what I call the foundation of hydraulic strength. To achieve this, we look to the inclusion of toasted almond flakes and pre-hydrated chia seeds as mandatory additions to your steel-cut oats. These are not just toppings for texture. They are the essential building blocks for flexible and responsive arteries. Many men suffer from arterial stiffness, a condition where the blood vessels become like old, hardened garden hoses that can no longer expand to accommodate increased flow. By adding these specific fats and minerals, you are essentially applying a lubricant to your internal plumbing. Chia seeds are a powerhouse for circulation because of their unique interaction with water. When you soak them overnight, they form a mineral-rich gel that provides a slow, sustained release of energy throughout your morning. But for a man over 60, the real value lies in a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid called alpha-linolenic acid or ALA. Clinical research has shown that ALA can measurably reduce arterial stiffness and lower blood pressure in individuals dealing with metabolic shifts. Furthermore, chia seeds act as a natural, gentle diuretic, helping your kidneys release excess water. This reduces the overall pressure your heart must overcome to push blood through your vessels, resulting in less strain on your circulation and more efficient delivery to the pelvic floor. Then we have almond flakes, which bring a high concentration of magnesium to the table. Magnesium is arguably the most important mineral for any man concerned with performance because it is the primary mineral responsible for muscle and blood vessel relaxation. Without enough magnesium, your blood vessels remain in a chronically constricted state, making it nearly impossible for blood to reach the smaller capillaries in the groin area. Almonds also contain healthy fats that help your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins necessary for maintaining testosterone levels. However, because almonds are calorie-dense, I advise my patients to stick to no more than 2 tablespoons to ensure they are supporting their vascular health without adding unnecessary weight. I recall one of my patients, a 64-year-old accountant who was struggling with both fatty liver issues and a total lack of confidence in the bedroom. He made the switch from a sugary boxed cereal to this specific oatmeal, almond, and chia combination. After 8 weeks, his laboratory results were staggering. His insulin resistance had dropped significantly, but more importantly, his body's internal repair crew for damaged blood vessels known as endothelial progenitor cells had doubled in number. He famously told me that his confidence returned well before his lab results did. This is the power of providing your body with the correct raw materials to repair itself. When preparing this at home, it is crucial to hydrate your chia seeds in water or unsweetened almond milk overnight. Dry chia seeds can expand rapidly and cause discomfort if they swell in the esophagus. By prepping them properly, you ensure that the nutrients are bioavailable and ready to go to work on your arteries the moment they hit your system. What you are building with this bowl is more than just a meal. It is a form of vascular rehabilitation that targets LDL cholesterol, repairs the vessel lining, and keeps everything flowing exactly where it makes the most difference in your daily life. As we continue, we will look at how to wash these nutrients down with a specific liquid that acts as a short-term booster for your newly widened vessels. The next layer of our vascular restoration strategy moves from the bowl to the cup with a ritual that has transformed the lives of many men in my practice. I want to share the story of Archie, a 72-year-old patient who remained sharp as a tack but was secretly struggling with a profound dip in his stamina and bedroom performance. Archie was not interested in pills or the side effects that come with them. He simply wanted to feel like himself again. When we looked at his routine, we found he was drinking soda every afternoon as a pick-me-up. I asked him to make one simple swap, replacing that sugary drink with a hot cup of sencha green tea. 3 weeks later, he returned to my office with a grin, claiming his kettle was more effective and certainly cheaper than a trip to the pharmacy. Many people dismiss green tea as just flavored water, but that is a significant medical mistake. High-quality sencha green tea carries a powerful compound known as EGCG, a catechin that activates a specific biochemical pathway in your blood vessels. This compound stimulates the production of nitric oxide, which we now know is the master molecule for widening arteries and restoring healthy circulation to the pelvic region. Specifically, EGCG triggers the PI3K ACT pathway, a cascade of signals that gets your body's own endothelial nitric oxide synthase working again. This means blood reaches those lower areas with less pressure and more reliability. The speed at which this happens is truly remarkable. Clinical studies have demonstrated that a single cup of green tea can increase flow-mediated dilation, the ability of your arteries to expand by up to 30% in just 2 hours. Unlike black tea or coffee, the processing of green tea preserves these vital galates that fight oxidative stress and prevent your nitric oxide from breaking down prematurely. For a man over 60, this is like clearing the debris off a landing strip before a flight. In Archie's case, we eventually performed a duplex ultrasound after 6 weeks of daily green tea consumption, which showed an 18% improvement in his cavernosal peak systolic velocity. This is the actual speed at which blood flows into the essential arteries for masculine health. Even a 10% increase is enough to restore confidence, and Archie nearly doubled that result without any medication. To get these results for yourself, you must follow a specific brewing method. Do not boil the life out of your tea. Use loose leaf sencha and steep it in water that is approximately 80 degrees Celsius, never boiling, for exactly 3 minutes. If you go hotter or longer, you will destroy the very catechins your arteries are craving. I recommend drinking 1 cup in the morning to set your nitric oxide levels for the day. If you are planning for a moment of intimacy, have a second cup about an hour beforehand to activate the short-term vasodilation effect that helps blood vessels expand when you need them most. A professional secret I share with my patients is to add a squeeze of lemon too. The vitamin C in the lemon can triple the absorption of these catechins in your gut, leading to even better circulation results. However, balance is key. Stick to under 5 cups a day, as extremely high doses of EGCG can stress the liver, particularly if you are already on cholesterol medications like statins. If you do use medications like sildenafil, ensure you space your tea at least 2 hours apart to avoid interactions with liver enzymes. Every sip of this tea is essentially writing a new vascular script for your body, encouraging smoother flow and a quieter, more efficient heart. As we move to the final food in our quartet, we will see how adding a splash of color to your breakfast can multiply these effects and shield your progress from the damage of daily stress. The final piece of our vascular puzzle involves adding a vibrant, dark pigment to your morning plate through the use of blueberries. I often hear men express concern that fruit is merely sugar and therefore bad for their health. But for a man over 60, this is a dangerous misunderstanding of nutritional science. A full cup of blueberries contains only about 10 grams of naturally occurring sugar, which is less than a typical slice of bread. More importantly, these berries are the densest source of anthocyanins, plant compounds that stabilize blood sugar and promote intense vasodilation. Within just 2 hours of consumption, these compounds start improving blood vessel function, helping your arteries relax and deliver oxygen-rich blood more smoothly throughout your body, including the areas responsible for intimacy and stamina. The reason blueberries are critical for your breakfast is that your body is in a vulnerable state the moment you wake up. Your nitric oxide levels are at their lowest point of the day, while oxidative stress is elevated, meaning your arteries are under more pressure than usual. This is exactly when blueberries go to work. The anthocyanins they contain kickstart nitric oxide production and act as a shield against oxidative damage. Clinical research has shown that eating about a cup of blueberries can improve flow-mediated dilation by up to 2%. While that might sound like a small number, in vascular science, a 2% boost means your arteries are expanding significantly better, allowing oxygen to reach the lower regions that tend to lose function first as we age. This is not just a temporary fix. It is a long-term investment in your vascular health. When you eat blueberries regularly, your body creates natural byproducts like protoglutacic and vanillic acids. These metabolites actually influence how your genes regulate vascular tone and manage inflammation, keeping your blood moving freely day after day. Furthermore, a consistent blueberry habit has been shown to lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 7 points, which is a meaningful drop for any senior dealing with hypertension or poor circulation. I remember a 70-year-old patient, a former smoker who was on daily medication for both blood pressure and performance issues. He started a simple habit of adding frozen blueberries to his yogurt 3 mornings a week. Nothing extreme, just a small, consistent change. 6 months later, we measured his arterial function and found his flow-mediated dilation had doubled from 3% to 6%. He reported feeling more alert, more energetic, and far more confident in his physical capabilities. He was even able to reduce his medication dose under his doctor's guidance. Blueberries are safe for almost everyone and are low in vitamin K, so they rarely interfere with medications like warfarin. However, if you have a history of kidney stones, you should stick to half a cup instead of a full one because they do contain oxalates. Think of your arteries like early morning highways. Blueberries turn on the signals, clear the road, and let your blood flow exactly where it needs to go. This includes the areas linked to stamina, performance, and self-assurance. It is a small step with a big message. You have not lost your vitality. You just need to turn the signals back on. As we move into the practical application of these 4 foods, we will discuss how to manage potential side effects and ensure your digestive system is as strong as your circulation. As we integrate these 4 powerhouse foods into your daily routine, it is essential to discuss how to manage this transition smoothly, especially regarding your digestive health and existing medical conditions. Many men over 60 have sensitive digestive tracts, and introducing high-fiber foods like black beans and chia seeds can initially cause some hesitation. However, you can easily bypass the common breakfast trap of bloating and gas by focusing on proper preparation. For instance, rinsing your black beans thoroughly before cooking is non-negotiable because it washes away the oligosaccharides, which are the primary compounds responsible for intestinal gas. If you are new to a fiber-rich diet, I always recommend starting small with about a quarter cup of beans or a tablespoon of chia seeds to allow your gut microbiome to adapt. This gradual approach ensures that you gain the vascular benefits without the digestive discomfort that often leads men to give up on healthy changes. Safety and medication interactions are another critical area where we must exercise professional diligence. If you have a history of gout, you should keep your portions of black beans modest, as they contain purines which can occasionally trigger flare-ups in sensitive individuals. Furthermore, while these foods are natural, they are powerful enough to interact with certain prescriptions. For those on blood thinners like warfarin, it is important to track your routine vitamin K intake. While black beans and blueberries are not excessively high in vitamin K, consistency in your diet is key to maintaining stable medication levels. Additionally, as I mentioned with green tea, if you are currently using prescription vasodilators like sildenafil, you should space your tea consumption by at least 2 hours to ensure your liver enzymes can process both effectively without interference. We also need to address the physical sensations you might experience as your circulation begins to come back online. Within the first few weeks of this breakfast protocol, many of my patients report feeling warmer hands and feet and a significant reduction in nighttime leg cramps. These are not just coincidences. They are clinical signs that your peripheral resistance is dropping and oxygen-rich blood is reaching the extremities more efficiently. In the pelvic region, this often translates to better responsiveness and a feeling of heaviness or strength returning to the thighs and groin area. It is important to listen to these signals from your body as they serve as real-time feedback that your vascular software is being updated. Lastly, remember that the goal is not perfection but consistency. If you have a day where you miss your green tea or choose a different breakfast, do not let it derail your progress. The true win comes from the cumulative effect of these nutrients on your endothelial lining over weeks and months. You are defending your vitality against the natural drop in nitric oxide that occurs in your 60s, and every meal is an opportunity to reclaim ground. By being mindful of these precautions and tailoring the circulation quartet to your specific needs, you are taking a proactive and sophisticated approach to senior health. As we move into our final section, we will synthesize everything we have learned into a simple 28-day action plan that will help you solidify these habits and start your next act with renewed confidence. The final step in reclaiming your masculine health is moving from theory to action with a focused 28-day commitment. You have the tools, but tools only work when you use them consistently. Aging does not strip your strength. It only takes what you stop defending. Tomorrow morning, I want you to pick just one of the 4 foods we covered and make it your daily power move. The first hour after waking is prime time for your circulation because your blood vessels are most receptive and your muscles are ready to absorb nutrients. If you skip this window or wait until you are starving, you miss a critical opportunity to set your nitric oxide levels for the entire day. Within the first few weeks of this new routine, you will likely notice real changes such as warmer sensations in your groin, steadier energy in your legs, and stronger steps when climbing stairs. Many of my patients even report better sexual responsiveness and a renewed sense of hope within just a few weeks of starting this protocol. Remember the quartet we have built together: black beans for magnesium to relax blood vessels, oatmeal with almond flakes and chia seeds for a nitric oxide punch, green tea to fight inflammation, and blueberries to combat oxidative stress in your pelvic arteries. This is your body's software update in edible form. I have seen men in their 80s regain ground they thought was lost forever because they chose to let their fork become their most powerful tool. You are still writing your story, and this next act is about choosing vitality over surrender. If this journey has given you practical hope, please help other men find it by hitting the like button, sharing this with a friend who needs it, and subscribing to ElderWell Living. Drop a 1 in the comments if you are going to try just one of these foods tomorrow, or a 0 if you have questions I can help answer. Your journey toward better health is a series of small daily wins that add up to a life of confidence and strength. Take action today by reclaiming your breakfast table and letting your body remember what it feels like to be fully fueled and ready for the day. It has been an honor to share this time with you, and I look forward to hearing about your progress in the weeks to come. Take action. Take care. And I will see you in our next session as we continue to explore the science of senior vitality. Keep fighting for the life you deserve.